welcome to Lucas Oil on the Edge. It's time to have some fun. We're going to do it on the asphalt. It's the Pro Nitrous drag racing out of Ennis, Texas. These guys are bad to the bone, big-time horsepower, a lot of grip, but it's all about split-second reaction times. Ken Stout and Brian Olson here to call all the action for you. This is a big-time race, Brian.
Oh, baby, this is the battle for the belts. This is the top 8 drivers, and this is their world championship. And unlike most sanctioning bodies who race for trophies and money, well, you get that great big belt over here at the ADRL.
8 cars inside the field, no minimum weight, no maximum cubic inches. That's a good recipe for speed.
I will tell you what, nitrous oxide injection, some say they make 1,500 before you ever hit the bottle, and when you do, sometimes over 2,000 horsepower underneath the hood. Now, let me explain what you're watching right off the bat here. This is what you would consider round number 1. It's kind of a Conti round, if you will, for the number 7 and number 8 qualifiers. Here's why. Ricky Smith was the number 1 qualifier coming into the battle, but Steve Vick and Doug Reister will be the first cars out. They qualified 7 and 8. Doug Reister, here's the stats on him.
Yeah, out of Victoria, Texas, the 68 model Camaro. A couple of wins underneath his belt. You can see the winning percentage there as well. Now, Steve Vick has been doing this for a long, long time out of Mocksville, North Carolina. Career race starts 39. I'd say it far exceeds that. That's 39 with ADRL. That guy has hundreds and hundreds of race wins and competitions.
Absolutely. And if you take a look at these 2 cars, Ken, you're going to find out that these are 2 of the cars that are unlike most of them inside the field. These are 2 of the heavier cars in a class with no weight minimum whatsoever. And Doug Reister, the far side, Ledmar Motorsports, Steve Vick, totally independent driver, and that machine is a good one. Reister from the alternate spot goes 393 and 188, and the folks of Ledmar are happy.
Yeah, both guys, a decent job in reaction times. More importantly, very, very close to each other in reaction time, so it made for a good drag race, but you can see the power in the left lane. Eventually gets the win there for Doug Reister.
3-second elapsed time for a car that's got an automatic on board, and Reister, one of the most low buck competitors on the circuit, takes the win and heads back into round 1.
Hey, let's take a look at a couple of comparisons here. On the left side of your screen, the Top Fuel Hydro drag boats. They produce about 7,000 horsepower, and the course is about 1,000 foot long. They apply all that horsepower to a couple of 7-inch props. In the center, the Pro Nitrous cars we're watching now. That course a little bit shorter, 660 feet, and of course they make about 2,000 horsepower. And then the Sand Dragsters, well, the shortest course yet at 300 feet, but again, when you're producing 7,000 horsepower to paddle tires, it can be quite a handful. Nonetheless, all 3 forms of discipline, very, very talented drivers, very, very fast machines, and all very exciting to watch. We thought you would enjoy seeing a couple of the differences between the drag boats, the asphalt drag racers, and of course the sand drag racers. Welcome back to Lucas Oil on the Edge. We're at the ADRL Pro Nitrous drag race in Ennis, Texas. The battle for the belts. And of course, when you see these guys come out here in their machines, thousands and thousands of dollars inside of them. But I got to tell you, that second generation Camaro we're about to see now is one of the most spectacular race cars I've ever seen.
No question about it. That's the new 70.5 body. But Burton Oxford drives a 68 model with 30 round wins, and another one of those seasoned veterans in the Pro Nitrous category.
Yeah, Randy Weatherford out of Danville, Virginia, the 70 model Camaro. A couple of final rounds out here, still looking for that first win. There's a look at that car we were talking about. Of course, a Firebird on the far side, backed by Alan Abbey, and then that second generation Camaro here in the near lane.
Oxford's machine has a brand new body on it. He stumbled and put that thing in the wall earlier in the season, so it's yet to be painted. Wow, Oxford on a great run, close to the wall, and just crushes him. 384 Ken at 195.
Yeah, puts a 10th on him there overall, and you can see the huge starting line advantage to Burton in the far lane. That is so critical when you come out here, especially in an 8th mile drag race. You don't have much time to make up for it. And of course, those Nitrous cars, they're running perfect when they're belching fire out of the pipes like that.
Yeah, when you see the fire coming out of the pipes as clean as that. Now watch these cars right about here. You'll start seeing the fire. That's when the systems are starting to really come in. Systems I'm talking about, nitrous oxide injection, putting the horsepower to the motors, and what a great run for round one for Burton Oxford.
Now, I got to tell you, Burton's lucky it's an 8th mile race. He might have been in trouble there in a quarter-mile distance. You can see the big onboard camera in the far lane as well. We'll give you a good ride here in a moment. Shannon Jenkins, talk about a man of experience. He's made his living in this industry. As you can see there, the ET world record holder has multiple championships underneath his belt. Will line up alongside Stan Allen.
In the Bankston Boys machine, great guy and a great team with a good car.
We just got to be consistent and, and don't go out there and do something we shouldn't be doing, which we got a good, consistent race car. And we've been working hard, we've been here since day one in the series, this is the 6th year. Man, it would be, just winning one of these races means so much, and to win the belt, that would be just icing on the cake, I would say, like I said, I've won a lot of races, but this has got to be the one we've worked the hardest for. So I always say, if I can win one race, this is the one I want to win.
Well, you can see all the plumbing on that intake manifold there before, and the technology development on these cars is second to none, especially with the nitrous oxide. They've come so far, and really to a testament of guys like the Iceman that have spent his life on nitrous.
Yeah, he was one of the guys that helped found Speed Tech Nitrous Solutions, and that is a company that is big time. And what you're not seeing double here. You're actually looking at a car formerly owned by the Al-Nabi team and the Speed Tech car, and the Iceman right alongside. Red light, Stan Allen is the Iceman. Going to round number 2, 396. Stan Allen for Mike Bankston. And by the way, I want to mention RIP to Red Eye. He was one of the crew members on that Stan Allen team, and they truly, truly miss him. We all do. One of the greatest guys you can ever meet at the track. But watch the right side of your screen. As just like the car before, Burton Oxford, that car makes a little bit of a move toward the left. It's evening hours here in Ennis, Texas, but the track's in great condition again. They'll go to the next round.
Again, that's why they call him the Iceman. Shannon Jenkins not flinching, even though Stan Allen left early. Shannon right on the mark. Okay, let's show you our next pair. This will be Jim Halsey, another longtime driver. This one out of Maryland, the 68 model Camaro. Your current mile-per-hour world record holder, just about 200 miles an hour, and the 8th mile, astonishing.
Yeah, then you're going to see Doug Reister, which you did see right at the start of the show when number 7 and number 8 matched up. And again, that was Reister's way of getting into round number 1. Now, by consistency and by the numbers, you got to think this race belongs to Jim Halsey, but take nothing away from the low buck effort of Lenmar Motorsports. Both these teams independent. You take a look at an Al-Nabi team member car, and you know there's no underfunding there, Ken. But with these two machines, this is pretty much out of pocket. Of course, Galen Smith, the Mark Heddens, helping out with the effort of Doug Reister. Great race.
Man, awesome race. Side by side, door handle to door handle, all the way down through there. Man, oh man, doesn't get much closer than that. And the win's going to go to Jim Halsey. And basically, it was on reaction time, an 0.22 light. ET's all but identical, just 0.7 of a second between the two.
You hit it right on the head, my friend. Better off the starting line is Halsey. And right down the middle of the lane they'll go. And it's 7 thousandths on ET, 7 feet, margin of victory. Wow.
And once again, the burnouts begin as they light up those huge rear tires. And then, of course, this will be a single for your #1 qualifier, Ricky Smith. Tricky Ricky, they call him, out of King, North Carolina. His name is synonymous with the class of Pro Mod.
There's a lot of good guys out here that's been running this class a long time. And the biggest problem is we're all getting bigger motors, more power. Tracks are getting so much stickier. And we're fighting, we're going through a learning curve right now how to get these cars up and spinning right. If they don't spin, they stop that tire, they'll just wad it up and then they shake. So it's a deal where if you're too aggressive, you're going to be bad, and if you don't have enough clutch, you're going to shake just as bad. So it's a fine line out there right now with all this stuff. We're better off with these nitrous cars like mine with a big tire. If that track was 120 degrees, we'd all probably be happy. But when it's 90 degrees like it is and tight, it's just hard to get the car to really get up and spin right and go and be consistent. So all we can do is try to slow the thing down a little and be consistent. Hope it's good enough to win this race.
And obviously he knows what he's talking about. He has wins and championships in Pro Stock and in Pro Mod. Pro Stock, again, a very tricky class to spin that tire just a little bit.
Yeah, you want to get up on the tire, if you will. This week, Kaufman Tank Truck's on the race car, and they're there to stay for a while. And one thing about Tricky Ricky, who was voted the #1 Pro Mod driver in the world, very few guys down at the tracks as many times as him. 391 and 192.
When we come back, we'll go racing one more time. Stay with us.